get thrown. People believe she will be playing, and that's starting to make the ticket prices go.
What happens when a single player can make ticket prices rival a stock market frenzy? How high can the stakes climb when a rookie transforms every arena into a gold rush? Fans who once sold tickets now scramble, convinced she may grace the court any given night. Ticket prices soar as if she drains threes from orbit, forcing even the Federal Reserve to consider monitoring sports inflation. Viewership shatters records, and supporters reportedly contemplate drastic measures like auctioning organs for courtside seats in a world suddenly beholden to her presence.
Swift. All of this madness ignited with Caitlin Clark's return from injury.
To be playing, still doesn't quite realize.
Ticket sales plummeted by 70% when word spread that she would miss a key matchup. 2 nights ago, the Indiana Fever faced the Washington Mystics. Before fans learned of her injury, the cheapest ticket stood at $41. The moment her absence was confirmed, that price collapsed to $3. This dramatic plunge illustrates the Caitlin Clark effect in stark terms. The WNBA remains baffled by the phenomenon they unleashed, as if someone discovered a treasure chest they cannot control.
Get thrown. People believe she will be playing, and that's starting to make the ticket prices go.
This athlete serves as a golden goose and a ticket to untapped wealth. She represents the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for a league that struggled to capture headlines. Teams must shield her from harm as though she carries the hopes and finances of an entire organization. Her influence extends beyond basketballs and scoreboards to global narratives and corporate negotiation. Anyone questioning her value fails to grasp the economic revolution she created, with each bounce of the ball echoing in boardrooms and social media algorithms alike.
Swift. All of this madness ignited with Caitlin Clark's return from injury.
To be playing, still doesn't quite realize.
WNBA veterans struggle to process this new reality, caught between relief at surging attention and resentment for the spotlight she commands. Some voice thinly veiled complaints that a newcomer upended years of careful growth strategies. These murmurs ignore a simple truth: a larger audience translates directly into more revenue. Exposure rarely arrives in such a perfect storm, yet certain players resist seeing it as an opportunity. Instead of celebrating the surge, a handful appear to cling to a fading status quo, unwilling to adapt to these windfalls.
What they have in Caitlin Clark, she is
Coming. Let's be real. There's a before Kate.
It was going to be Ada Reese's team, which plays.
Even when she does not step on the court, arenas pulse with anticipation. Spectators fill seats hoping for a last-minute appearance or a surprise recovery. Merchandising skyrockets, and television ratings surge, reflecting a fan base desperate for a glimpse of her signature long-range shots. Even security personnel comment on how the crowd behaves as though attending a sold-out concert headlined by a global superstar. Her mere name draws attention. Absence only intensifies the frenzy, creating a paradox where non-participation sells as effectively as peak performance.
Impact isn't just about dropping 30 points. Playing, the numbers climb.
Some established players treat her as competition rather than a catalyst for collective success. They see her rise as a threat to their own recognition and endorsement opportunities. A rookie should not command so much influence, they argue, yet she holds the power to elevate everyone around her. Instead of boarding that elevator, they attempt to cut its cables. They fail to realize that her ascendance could lift their own careers into broader markets, as fans who tune in for her often discover other talents in the league.
Tickets to see Caitlin Clark versus Paige Beckers in the WNBA are going for astronomical prices. The Indiana Fever play the
Media coverage resembles an expedition into unknown territory, with analysts dissecting her every movement in microscopic detail. Camera crews position drones to capture her warm-ups, tracking how she dribbles and moves to gauge her fitness and focus. Social media buzz revolves around debates on zone defense tactics and hot takes on her latest performance. Casual viewers, drawn by curiosity, suddenly binge-watch games they once ignored. The coverage transforms single matchups into national events as if she carries the entire league on her back. Scalpers outside arenas charge prices that once seemed unthinkable for WNBA games. They pitch tickets at prices befitting a headliner at Coachella instead of a professional basketball player. Teams that once struggled to fill a few thousand seats now roar with fans anticipating her presence. The contrast shines a spotlight on how much interest hinges on one name. Her absence creates a void so pronounced that entire home lineups feel overshadowed. leaving front office staff scrambling to manage optics and relationships with season ticket holders.
To relocate the venue to the American Airlines Center in Dallas, where the Mavs play. The price to get in the door starts at $255.
Veteran envy unfolds in tweets, subtweets, and side-eye looks in locker room corridors. Thinly veiled quotes spread through social feeds, suggesting rookies should earn their place and respect. Yet the same voices fail to acknowledge that she already transformed broadcast deals and online streaming numbers. Skeptics point to her inexperience as justification for doubt, ignoring her evident talent and commercial magnetic pull. Rather than celebrating the best onboarding for new fans the league could hope for, they choose to grumble and lament.
What they have in Caitlin Clark. She is
Humming. Let's be real, there's a before Kate.
It was going to be Ada Reese team, which plays.
Her impact isn't just about dropping 30 points.
Her influence transcends the hardwood. It enters cultural conversation the same way other sports legends did. Comparisons to basketball icons feel inevitable, but what truly marks her impact is this cultural velocity. She creates momentum that extends well beyond wins and losses, carving space in mainstream headlines. Her college career already set viewership records, and now her rookie season has cemented that trend. Just as certain champions became social phenomena, she embodies a shift toward a new era where women's basketball commands national attention.
Leah, you got a technical. What could have happened there?
If he got the tech? I know. Wait, what? I got the tech?
Her mistakes carry weight equal to her triumphs as moments of failure trend alongside highlights. A block shot against her triggers debates online about defensive strategies and matchups. A stolen ball sparks discussions on her decision-making and ball control. Even a slight slip or misstep invites speculation on social media about potential injuries. Her every action, whether routine or remarkable, feels amplified, underscoring the reality that, for her, anonymity ceased the moment she stepped on the court.
Oh, first of all, no. Let's not make it anything that it's not. It was just.
Instead of harnessing this energy, the league struggles to manage its own transformation. Efforts to market other players fade in comparison to the magnetism she exudes. Sponsors and media focus on her, sometimes to the detriment of established stars. Several players lament that their performances receive less notice, yet they fail to understand that overall attention lifts everyone. Rather than building individual brands, some focus on dividing and distancing. It remains unclear whether such attitudes will harm the league's growth in the long run.
You can play on the basketball. I'm not sure what the rest saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion after watching.
Team officials offer cautious praise, emphasizing support systems and urging patience as she recovers. They note that her health and readiness remain paramount for sustained success. While such sentiments sound sincere, underlying uncertainty lingers about how to balance her protection with a desire to showcase her talents. Executives worry that any lingering injury may undermine fan enthusiasm. They find themselves navigating a delicate balance between safeguarding their star and meeting the insatiable demands of a suddenly captivated audience. The media frenzy reaches heights, where analysts draw diagrams comparing her shot arc to scientific data. Segments mimic wildlife documentaries, following her natural habitat on the court. Social media channels flood with clips of her in practice, each dribble dissected frame by frame. Debates on TikTok focus on defensive formations, specifically designed to slow her down, as though opposing teams see her as an uncontested threat. The league's digital footprint expands as casual viewers trade memes and GIFs, eager to share the latest moment of her brilliance.
Initial whatever happened during the play and then whatever happened after. We watch a lot of basketball. It's a take foul to put them at their feet.
Even on nights off, the mere possibility of her arrival can sell out entire arenas. Fans dress in her college colors, carry banners, and chant her name, waiting for a glimpse. Ticket resale platforms resemble stock exchanges when her participation is uncertain. Prices surge or collapse with news of her status, as if she alone dictates market trends. Meanwhile, entire franchises that once struggled to draw eyeballs now bask in the reflected glow of her popularity. This power to move crowds challenges traditional notions of team-centric fandom within the league. Despite this undeniable force, some players cling to time-honored narratives about proving one's worth. They recall legends who paid their dues and earned respect over lengthy careers. Yet their arguments disregard the uniqueness of her arrival in a digital age, where attention spans shift at the speed of a viral clip. The rookie's impact defies those conventions, bringing fresh viewers who never considered attending a WNBA game. Rather than adapt to this influx, some hold fast to outdated ideas of hierarchy and gatekeeping. Commissions and sponsors scramble to adjust marketing plans on the fly. Endorsement deals that once targeted established stars now find themselves reshaped around her image. Social media platforms negotiate partnerships that place her at center stage, projecting campaigns that hinge on her presence. Corporate sponsors realize that her brand recognition outweighs the combined recognition of several veterans. Even local businesses near arenas profit from increased foot traffic and publicity. In short, her appearance creates an economic ripple effect that benefits more than just her team. Fans witness a transformation in how games are produced for television. Lighting, camera angles, and commentary adapt to focus on her movements. Directors instruct camera operators to emphasize her dribble footwork and scoring attempts. Producers schedule live segments dedicated to her pregame rituals, from warm-ups to warm-down stretches. Sports networks create special on-air graphics to highlight her shot percentages and historical comparisons. This production shift underscores the league's realization that she represents its most valuable marketing asset. National viewership for her games outpaces past benchmarks, often doubling average ratings. Even matchups without playoff implications garner primetime slots due to her involvement. This newfound time slot prominence translates into higher advertising revenue for broadcasters. More brands clamor to place commercials during game breaks, citing a guaranteed audience. The league uses this leverage to negotiate better TV deals for future seasons. The revenue windfall promises to reshape the financial model for all teams, potentially raising salary caps and resources. Her presence also reshapes social media dynamics among fans and analysts. Discussion threads lengthen as viewers dissect each defensive scheme run against her. Podcast hosts dedicate segments exclusively to her performance, speculating on game strategies and future prospects. Online forums light up with ranking debates, placing her among all-time greats, even as a rookie. The conversation transcends basketball, touching on cultural influence and representation. In essence, she revitalizes conversations around women's sports that had languished on the fringes of mainstream coverage. In venues large and small, referees face amplified pressure when officiating games in which she participates. Every call or non-call becomes fodder for debate on sports talk shows. Fans hold announcers and officials accountable on social media, scrutinizing replays to vindicate or condemn decisions. Referees feel the weight of expectations, as if each whistle carries the potential to alter broader narratives about the league's credibility. Meanwhile, opponents adjust tactics to avoid frequent foul calls as she drives to the rim. This heightened scrutiny demonstrates how her role extends to everything on the court. Several opponents admit in private that facing her represents a milestone challenge. They train specifically to guard her, analyzing every combination of screens and cuts. Coaches develop complex schemes designed to disrupt her ball handling and shot rhythm. Each team adjusts its rotation to include defenders skilled at denying her space. The workload placed on opposing players underscores how her game demands specialized strategies. It stands in stark contrast to other matchups where rotations hinge on general team play rather than neutralizing a single force. Finally, her arrival signals a challenge and an opportunity for the WNBA. The league can choose to amplify this momentum, investing in infrastructure, digital platforms, and community outreach. Alternatively, it might revert to previous strategies once her hype dissipates, losing the chance for enduring transformation. The choice rests on leadership, vision, and an understanding of the new landscape she's sculpted. If treated as a catalyst rather than a curiosity, her influence could usher in a golden era that elevates all players and teams. The destiny of women's basketball now hinges on how well the league harnesses this cultural quake. Subscribe, like, and comment to stay in the loop on the latest developments and join the conversation.